Good morning. Today is going to be a good day, I hope. I'm actually on my way to my dermatologist. I have to go every 3 months because I had melanoma about a year ago, and I've had it like 10 years ago, so obviously it's not because I lay out in the sun. I don't think I've ever laid out in the sun. I guess it can be genetic. So, weird thing is, we don't really have any history in my family, but you know, when you think about it, do we really know our family history in terms of health? I mean, some people do, but even then, I feel like it goes back as far as your grandparents or your great-grandparents, but who knows if my great-great-great-great-great-grandparents ever had skin cancer? I don't know. We just don't keep track after certain generations. It's kind of sad. I mean, that's why those shows are so popular, and this Ancestry.com and everything, because people want to trace their family trees, which means no one ever really keeps track past a few generations. I don't know. Sometimes that just strikes me as sad that we just forget about our family. I don't know. Deep thoughts on the way to my dermatologist. But I am going to get to talk to my father-in-law that I talked about before, who has been traditionally published and independently published. He was published by Ace Putnam, and I just wanted to ask him a few questions for you guys, and just so you can get an idea of the full sort of traditionally published experience. And after I get to talk to Robert, Alina, my mother-in-law, and I are going to go look at some property that she's interested in. Good news! They didn't have to take anything off. Usually I go every 3 months, and I can't. I have so many scars on my body. They usually take mole or freckle or something off, but very rarely do I go in and they don't take anything. So, yay! The only reason why it's a big deal for me is because I get what's called keloids, and it's basically a type of scarring. Anywhere my skin gets cut, it'll leave almost looks like a red blister, and they hurt and they suck and they don't go away. And it's basically just sort of like an inflamed scar tissue, and they're called keloids. Now, interesting fact, going back to Ancestry, I did that DNA Ancestry.com test, because the only people that get keloids are people of Asian descendancy or people of African descendancy. According to Ancestry.com, I'm like 1 or 2% Asian, but my sister is 2% African. So, and she has keloids way worse than I do, although I have them pretty bad. So it could be a combination of both. If you haven't done that DNA test, you should totally do it, because it's pretty awesome. So far, this day is good. Any day I don't have to remove a mole or get some sort of biopsy is a good day. First things first, I just tell the story of how you got published with Ace Putnam.
Okay.
How did that happen?
There's a thing called the literary marketplace, so I did my research,
right.
and I used Writer's Market, which is still out there and one of the best online now resources there is. I found, took my first 5, I worked on a pitch letter, really.
Oh, right.
Query letter. Query letter is the official phrase,
Yeah.
but I was pitching my thing. I took 5, and I was just lucky enough that of my 5, I had 2 responses right away. And I liked the Ace Putnam, because the books they were publishing were more in line with what I thought that was, and the editor, Susan Allison, was very congenial on the phone. Now, I do have to admit to one thing. I spent 7th grade through being in my late 20s in New York. Then, by the time I was writing this, I was in California, and I knew that all the publishers were in New York. There's a very anti-California feeling. So I lied, simply. I used my parents' address in New York. They thought they were bringing on a New York writer. And we kept that up all through the first book.
Wow. So thank you, Robert Fleet. Robert C. Fleet.
I love the fact that we talk over each other, but yes, yes.
That's good, it's an interview.
Robert C. Fleet for writing.
Alina and I are thinking about buying to make a writer's retreat. Look how beautiful, how amazing would it be to write here? Look at these mountains. And then just have like this amazing retreat where you have this to look around. So Marble Drive would be where the writer's retreat would be. Marble Drive. I don't know if you can hear me because it's so windy, but this is the piece of land we're actually going to buy. Yeah. This is where the writer's retreat would be. So this would be the frontal view. We are in Palm Springs, which is 10 minutes from that property that we're thinking of looking into for the writer's retreat. It's looking better and better, I'm telling you. 10 minutes away from all the restaurants and coffee shops of Palm Springs. Oh. I find it very funny that on this corner is Coffee Bean, and on this corner it's Starbucks. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Go. Which one? We went for Starbucks. I had an amazing day. The place that Alina and I went to was magical. I really hope that we can actually get that property and start making this writer's retreat, which would be amazing. I am going to post, I know I put it in the titles, but I am going to post Robert's full interview because it's awesome. He gives a lot of really cool stories and details on what his publishing journey was like, and he had a 3-book deal, and then the 3rd book fell through, and anyway, it's this great story. And so I'll be posting the full entire 20-minute interview tomorrow. But that's it for me today, guys. Keep creating and happy writing. Bye.